Hello, 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 my friends. Welcome to the Dynamo, and we're in one of those very weird football manager moments where, like, I'm still doing well in the league. I'm sat second. We've kind of bobbled in and around, kind of like that fourth, fifth, third, and second position. We've lost out on first place to Gateshead, but our form has absolutely deserted us in our past. In I think it was like 12 games, like 11 or 12 league games, there was an available 24 points, and we only took 9 of those 24. One in 4 games, we have won. In 3 out of every 4 games, we've either lost or drawn. Like, there's a fair number of losses in here, and there's a lot of draws, like a lot of 1-1s. And it's very concerning because, like, our goal scoring form has kind of deserted us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 6 games, we have failed to score. In our last 6 games, let me just start again. In 6 games, we've only scored in 2 of them. Our form is kind of deserting us, and like I feel like I might be overcomplicating things in terms of tactics. So what I've done is I've just turned everything off. Like, we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to let them play with their own imagination. I'm actually going to turn off Medzales here because, again, maybe I'm overcomplicating this. It literally could be as simple as that. And let's put you onto fullbacks attack. Like, let's just like lower what I'm asking them to do, the element of complexity attached to it, because this is something that I do spot a lot of managers do, kind of if they're new to the game, or even if they're like semi-experienced, they'll overload their tactics, their instructions, and they'll essentially give players who frankly aren't that talented huge lists of instructions to be able to do, and they just don't have the decision-making capability, the technical ability, or even just the stamina to be able to execute those plans properly. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with nothing. Now, we've had a development in goalkeeper because Scott Gamble has been replaced. Now, he's done very well for us this season. He's had a 7.15 rating in the league. But the problem is he just refuses to train. I have given out to him like 7 times in training because he's been the worst performing player. And each and every time he claps back at me and says, "You're expecting too much of me." So, like, I'm not even sure I'm going to offer him a contract, which is, like, really upsetting because, like, the boy has good potential. Like, he could improve a lot, but here's one problem. Laid back, casual, oozes calmness. He also has an unpredictable style of goalkeeping. Personality, casual, going to attributes. Like, he's got high eccentricity. This goalkeeper he's never going to make it. He's never going to go anywhere. He refuses to develop. It's just that simple. So what I did is I brought in Sean Bonnen from Bohemians, 20 years of age. He's made 9 appearances, conceded 10, 2 clean sheets with an average rating of 6.99. He's performing slightly better in the league, although there was a cup tie that unfortunately we went into it knowing it was a rather difficult tie, and it was a rather difficult tie. We got dumped out of the FA Cup second round with a 4-0 drubbing. Now, it was going okay. We were 2-0 down. Fair enough. I thought, like, we can claw some sanity out of this. Just, like, score a goal and we can leave with our heads held high. Knowing the 76th and 80th minute, basically, just Edwards and McGrath just decided to spit in the faces of the Irish hopefuls and just dump us out of the cup. Only, like, 3-4 days after a bad matchup against Gloucester City. It was really annoying because, like, we had the winning of this game and then Sean Bonnen just didn't have a good game in goal. Like, it says a 6.7. That's frustrating here because he actually was on like a 7.7 and nearly an 8.0 rating. And in clearing the ball, he basically assisted a Gloucester striker just like headbutting the goal. Could even call it a headbutt. It was more just like he deflected the ball into the goal with his face. So Bonnen got an assist, and unfortunately we drew the away leg in Gloucester, and we just couldn't get on the score sheet, and that began a concerning run in what was already a concerning run. Like, the National League, we're looking okay. We're not scoring goals, but we're not conceding them either, which is quite good. We're sat second. We're a point ahead of Farsley, although as you can see, like, it's tight up there at the top of the table. I'm not at risk of dropping out of that top 6 at the moment, but like, I have to be careful. I have to be very careful that I don't. there's a 4-point gap between ourselves and Gateshead. We had the opportunity of closing in on that because, as you can see, Gateshead's form has not been good. They've won one of their last 5, drawing 2, losing 2. So we've had an opportunity to close that gap, and closing that gap we have done, but not in any meaningful way to put us in contention to be able to actually mount a challenge to get into that top place. I think the next thing to show you would be the squad situation. So I'm in the middle of trying to secure down some of my better players onto 1-year extensions. A lot of players I'm probably just going to let go. Now, Bonnen is annoying because, well, he's not here long enough to sign a new contract. But, it expires soon. So technically somebody can get him on a free, even though he only had a 7-year contract, a 7-month contract. I'm hoping that he just, decides to stay with me soon, because otherwise... That's his CA is even increasing across the board. He's training well. I don't want to lose him because he's a decent goalkeeper and he's Irish. That matters to me in the save and the scope of things. But we've held down Rogers, we've held down Ron Kennedy, good defender for us. Harvey Manley has been probably one of our better centre mids. 7.12, 3 goals, 2 assists, 2 player of the match, 25 appearances all season. Where is he? Brian Fitzgerald, I have been very surprised by. 35 years of age, 20 appearances in the league. This man has an engine on him. 3 players in the matches. I was not expecting him to be able to go the distance. He has a stamina of 3. Now, as we've gotten further into the season, his fitness, he's just never quite in an overall physical condition. So maybe that's where it's going to affect him, closer into the end of the season. We're just not going to be able to rely on him all that much, although his technical defending attributes are absolutely gorgeous. High 14s, couple that with decent mentals and good physicals, you've got a championship player there. And he probably used to be championship level at some point in his career. He used to play in the Electricity First Division, which, let's be honest, is pretty much Ishman tier level. It's not. I'm just making fun of them. But I've been pleasantly surprised with him, although I'm not sure I'm going to renew his contract, just because, he's 35 years of age. We have an under 23s, not an over 32s. Donnelly, Brohall, again, it's difficult because I don't want to completely destroy the wage budget as well, because we're nicely underneath our wage budget. We have a budget of 5.6 to spend, and I'm spending under $4,000 a week on wages, and I kind of want to keep it that way. I want to try to keep wages as low as possible so that I can soak and absorb those finances. Speaking of finances, our finances are beautiful. We have not been finding it difficult to make money this so far, and I think it's a combination of one of the things about what are they called? Dublin City, is I didn't realize this before I started the save, but I've gone into the editor to make sure they have this general sponsorship that's available. What is it's no, here it is. Yeah. It's 400,000, 500,000. We're making a killing in sponsorship. And it's in the editor, and I didn't realize it was in there. So, this is really helping us out in terms of recovering from our loan. Because if you go into the loan, we only have 200,000 of that loan remaining, and we've been we've had a 40,000 expenditure per month that's been eating into our income. But other than that, it's been fine. Now, a huge part of our income comes down into gate receipts. So far this season, just 600,000. You can see sponsorships 300,000, as well as season tickets 161,000. Match day income. I think a big part of this is we have a very nice stadium, and our home attendances haven't been bad. You can see here Kings Lane in the FA Cup, 5,000. We did get a nice little kiddie windfall from the Wigan game, because we had there we go, 1,200 away fans, and I think that there might have been a revenue split in terms of that away attendance. But in terms of our home fixtures, we're averaging about 2.5. I wonder if there's a way I can find my average attendance. Should be in club info, history, competitions. No, it should be in records. Here we go. Modern day this season. What's my average attendance? 3,100. That explains that. So it's let's very quickly do some math. So 3,172. Average ticket is 15. So let's go calculator. Here we go. 3172 by 15. Nope. That's by 1 by 15 equals, there you go, 47,000. My average match day is 47,000 income. So that's a beautiful, beautiful return. So, like, finances wise, I'm not worried at all about this squad. I'm not worried at all. And even if you go into projection, you can see we're projected to be making profits moving into the 1.3, 1.6. So what this does is, now some of you might be sitting there thinking to yourselves, Jesus, he's playing on easy mode. No, the reason I'm playing on easy mode is because I'm not spending wages. That's really it. Like when we go into our wage budgets, like the transfer budget is expected to go up to like 450,000. A big reason why is because we're just not spending our money on wages. If I was to go into competitions, now I usually don't check this, so it might take me a while to find history, transfers, stats. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the wage table and I'll be back to you in a sec. Here we go. And this explains why we're in a very good position and why we're doing quite good. They have a salary of per annum. York City have a salary of €1 million a season. All the way down here, we're only spending 170 grand. So like we're almost half of the next highest one. We're really not. We're about maybe 65%. So like we have a lot of room before we get into like your average Vanarama spend in around that 400,000 a year. Like we have a lot of room in that wage budget. We have a lot of room. Which is why, like, I'm not that keen to hold down contracts because I haven't settled on a first team. This was a team that I've clobbered together just to have a team because Dublin started with nobody, obviously. So, like, I'm still in the middle of, like, if you go into scouting, if you go into shortlist, I've slowly been making my way through trying to, like, figure out who are these people? You know, like, where do they go to school? Have they got good grades? Like, Ryan Donnelly's an A. He's got very good crossing, and I like my wing backs. So plays for Malahide United. There's an element in here that I might be interested in. And if I can secure him, Hosey, I think he's already signed an extension. And he's on the 180 a week. So like an option that I could have considered would have been to sign Dooney because he would have been on less wage. There's still an option for me to bring him in, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to at the moment. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm trying to figure out who are like Shane Guthrie. The only thing that's kind of turning me off him is he's 37. Now, I need to figure out if that natural fitness and if that stamina, like between 5 to 11, that's a big swing. If it's 5, no interest. If it's 10, I have interest. But again, like similar to Fitzgerald, 35, 37, I don't want to be stocking my team with players who are too old just because, like, if we don't get promoted this season, next season it's a 24 team league. So it's a, what is it, like a 46 games. Jesus. I forgot why I hate the English leagues. Way too many games. So, like, that is what I'm trying to do in terms of fixing the finances to be able to eventually, when we get into a professional setup and a professional system, I'll be able to allocate the wages towards scouting for Irish players, having a wage budget that can actually command a very, very good squad, while also being able to mount challenges for title challenges. And keeping your finances healthy are absolutely integral to that entire process. And I'm also trying to keep finances under control because this is a long-term save. I don't want to do a promotion challenge and find myself 70 million fucking euro in debt when I get to the championship, because then it just restricts my ability to be able to raid the transfer market. So how this is going to work is I'm a little ways away from our next match against, who are we playing? Against Brackley Town. So what we're going to do is it's going to be like a second for ye, but I'll come back to ye as soon as I'm at that match. What is an amusing development is the bottom of the table match, Blythe Spartans against Splendimore, that's been called off. It's postponed for whatever reason why. It's the 8th of January, so I guess, where is Blythe? I guess it's set in Blythe. Is that in Scotland or is that like just like on the border? It's Blythe. I don't know where Blythe is. Croft Park. But anyway, that's been called off probably for a frozen pitch or something like that. And have we? Okay, yeah. So we've dropped down, but we have an opportunity to gain some. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Just pull back. It's concerning how Farsley are climbing up the table, even with a game in hand. And I'm not okay with this. I'm very upset about having to resort to figuring out how to getting opportunities. A bird just flew past the window there and reminded me yesterday. I was sitting in the sitting room, fucking bird just slap into the window. Scared the life out of me, and I was losing 2-1 at the same time. So just my partner thought I'd scored a goal because usually I get like, when we score and just like, pull something back. No, Adam Rooney, brilliant, signed his contract extension. While we were waiting, he basically came into my office and went, you know what, I'm starting enough games. I'm okay with staying here. So I already had a contract ready, just pulled out of the drawer, put it down there. I had like stenciled in his signature in like crayon, and he just like signed over it, and then I just like brushed off the crayon because it's water soluble. Now the contract is dripping wet, so I'm just going to leave it in the hot press to dry for a while. But we've nailed Adam Rooney down to a 1-year extension. Like 8 to 12k. Like, there's a good valuation on him. Like, if we want to sell any of these players, again, we've got the entire amateur structure of Ireland to loot and raid. So until we go up, Waterlock pitch at St. James's Park. What? Ah. Oh well. So our game has been called off. So we don't have a game until the 15th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into competition. No, where is this? Schedule. I'm going to schedule a match just to keep us match fit. So we'll schedule it for Thursday. Brackley Town, National League, Southport. The 9th of January. I'm not comfortable scheduling it for Tuesday. Like, if I could schedule it for Monday, I'd be okay with that. But I guess we're just gonna have to let them do their thing. But that is very disappointing because it's been a bit of a trek. 2nd to the 15th. It's a week off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my training, and let's get ourselves sorted for next week. No, okay, so call off. So overall defending engaged. I don't want defending training. I want attack training. Attacking patient and match practice. We're going to do match tactics. Actually, no, we'll do attacking movement. And take away attacking, and just to get a bit of... Which one's better? There we go, yeah. We'll do a bit of team bonding just to kind of increase that dressing room atmosphere. Because if we go into our dynamics, you can see team cohesion is the thing we're really suffering with. Atmosphere, managerial support, doing fine, doing very fine. Lee Murphy wants to leave, not that much of an issue. In terms of hierarchy, like, we've no leaders. We have influential players and highly influential players. We've no team leaders at the moment, which is a bit disappointing. I'm going to need to bring in some leaders. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to be looking for, to see if I can find players that have like high leadership status and just high leadership stats to be able to just take us to that next level. So I'm going to sim forward to that next match. Back in a bit. And here we are. We've got the match against Southport kicking off very shortly. We've got my Bonnen, Hoisey, Rooney, Fitzgerald, Abu, pretty standard back line, and like defensively they're quite solid for us. I'm very happy. I'm going with Stanley and Leonard up front. Stanley, you've heard of. Leonard, you probably haven't. He's one of the players that I'm just not sure is going to like make the cut and stay here for a while. Stanley has already been signed on to an extension. So let's get into it. Let's kick off and let's find out whether or not I've got a day of pain ahead of me. So let's just make sure I've got key highlights on. Okay. So let's get stuck into this now. Dublin City, Southport way down at the bottom of the table, so they have not been having a good time of it. We have an opportunity to climb some spaces at the moment here because we do have a game in hand, because there's been a lot of postponements as well as us having a postponement. So if we can get a win here, that'll be very good. Now, so far we've had We've had a shot on target. They've had none. They have had 6 shots with a good XG. Again, like I said, we're not creating chances. That is what's getting quite frustrating about this team at the moment. Go attacking and let's praise them. Oh, they did not react well to that. Okay. Halftime. Okay, because we have a good touch to shot ratio in the penalty area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on shoot on sight. I'm just going to tell them just to go for it and be more disciplined. What else can I do? Sure, we'll narrow the attacking width. Okay, dressing room. Let's go. I'm proud of you and your efforts. Let's go second half. Okay. Playing with a standard 4-4-2. Oh no, Hamey crosses this in and wide over the bar. Bonnen doesn't have to worry about that one at all. Okay, so now it's time for our highlight, bringing it forward. Donnelly, what you going to do with it? Leonard, bring it. Oh, okay. I don't know what was happening there. Leonard basically just decided, I'm going to do something. Brings this forward. Can we clear up? Donnelly heads it forward to Leonard, but he can't quite get onto the end of it. They have a deep lying playmaker, and they're after putting this over the top. Weston has a chance to take a 1-0 lead, and he takes his opportunity. Again, like you're kind of, we're not creating opportunities. There's a bit of this fluidity, I guess is the way of putting it, where the team is just not in a position to be able to make the most out of anything. I think I'm going to have to do like a drastic tactical shake-up where I might just have to abandon this squad and just try bring in some wingers and just try to stretch teams and just rely on crosses. Go on, Stanley! Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Stuff like that is what I'm looking for out of this team, of just hitting and hoping from wide areas. Like that was an opportunity where like nothing was going to come from that. So let's go into our tactics and subs. Let's stretch the pitch. And let's hit early crosses. Go on, focus play down the wings and increase the passing directness. Discipline, that's fine. Okay, and let's confirm changes. So we've scored. We've ended our duck. If we can get another goal, I'll be very happy. XG wise, we are outperforming our opportunities, but Southport, they're just, the amount of shots they're getting on target is quite concerning. Well, not on target, just in general. As Heisey, can you get an opportunity for a cross in here? Rogers is going to clean this up. Out to Donnelly. Donnelly, great save by the Southport keeper. Okay, so we're going to let this corner play out, and then we're going to make some substitutions. Leonard brings in for a near post. Fitzgerald can't quite get in the end of it. Okay, substitutions, because Hoy is very, very, very tired out there. What am I looking for? Here we go. So, do I have somebody who can play in that right? I didn't bring a centre mid. Because... Okay, so Brohal can come back here. That's fine. Rogers can come down here. We'll swap you. And then Rogers can swap with Donnelly. We're going to give you 2 attacks. Just because, again, like I feel like we're just not creating. That's the main problem I'm having with this squad at the moment. And I think Leonard can play in... Yeah, Leonard can play in that role there. Okay, so it's somewhat of a diamond that it's a makeshift diamond that I'm playing with at the moment, where they'll kind of do overlapping runs. Manley will just hold back. Leonard will just look for opportunities while Lang and Stanley do both of you. And actually, you know what I'll do? I'll drop both of you back to deep lying forwards just to kind of like reduce the space between Leonard, Rogers, Donnelly, and that actual strike force. Okay, and let's see if we can get something out of this. Very end. Closing in on 25 minutes in the video. So, will we get a win? Will we get a loss? Rogers over to Fitzgerald? Nope. Okay, can Rogers clean up? Yeah. All the way back to Abulu. Over to Rogers. And Rogers, when are you going to play with it? And Lang taking this over is going to cross it. And Stanley, you had the chance, Stanley. How do you nail the first one and botch that chance? Jesus. And Leonard crossing in for the near post. Oh my God. Oh, this is just going to go down as a game of almost, isn't it? Heading towards that 98th minute. I think a draw is just what we're going to have to settle for here. We have an opportunity for Leonard. Leonard over to Rogers. Is Brohall taking it wide before getting an opportunity to cross? It's Brohall into Donnelly. Donnelly taking the opportunity long, and yes! Leonard has gotten us a leading goal. Oh my God, that linesman scared the life out of me for a second there. We're going to take a 2-1. Oh, we needed that win right at the depth of injury time. Oh, and Lang just holding up beautiful for Leonard to just slot. Oh, it hit the post going in. An absolute work of beauty bringing it past the Southport keeper. And like, relief is the word I have for it, viewers. So what a performance. Just to get something on the board. And again, like they can create chances, because we have a chance to sneak back. No, we don't have a chance for second place. Farsley, we just have to hope that results don't go their way. There's a 5-point gap between us and top of the table, so there is something to keep excited for in terms of the run-in. Hopefully we can mount a title challenge and just get our form under control and try to just make something of what's left of the season. Although we're looking good for a playoff spot. Like, our form would need to implode and collapse. And like, I mean, football is a funny game. If you look at our form, like, we're on the verge of collapse since October. Like, we had a stellar August and September, didn't lose a single game, and then we found it tough going. Now going forward, Brackleytown, Telford, Southport. We play Southport again. Jeez, that was a quick turnaround. Like, I'll be aiming for 9 points from those games. At the absolute minimum, 7 points. I don't want to lose. We need to develop a little bit of momentum going through here. We need to get points on the board so that we can put space between us and 7th place to secure a playoff position. But of course, what we want is that title. My friends, thank you for joining me. I shall catch you in the next one. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, make a comment. That shit matters. That really matters. But I'll catch you in the next one, my friends. Cheers.